Hey guys, it's Noob Hero, bringing you, another video. I'm assuming. Maybe. I didn't know what I was... You know, I had a joke. The joke is gone now. I forgot. That always happens. Anyways, we're doing another video. I hope you apologize if there's noise in the background. My parents were in the kitchen, and yeah. Anyways, I finished editing part 1 by now. Well, by finished editing, I mean cutting out the footage and stuff. Turns out that's like 50 minutes, and by the time you watch that video, this one should be out in like a day, so if it's not, I got lazy or something. Anyways, we're gonna continue to head, apparently we're going southeast. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. It's the same day, by the way. I just, I got kind of, I don't know, I guess I got a morale boost, and I ended up just being like, you know what? Even though the first episode was kind of spotty since I had to re-record it, might as well just continue on. So we're going ahead and start chapter 3, and, yeah, let me see where... Okay, so we're currently level 6. I would prefer to be level 7 at least, but it's doable. So, something to point out is that I had... by the time I got here, in my first run of this, I had an EX booster piece of equipment. Oh, and that's the enemy I died to when I recorded. I died twice last recording. The first time I attempted the first video, I died to that guy because I was taking a new route to the area I'm going, and it's... oh god, no, what am I doing? Oh no. Oh, yeah, don't do this. Don't go around like a crazy person. That's what I do. Hopefully you guys aren't crazies as well. And that one's awake. If he turns around, I'm screwed. We just need to go up here. I did have some really good beginning gear. So my first run of this, since, I restarted, was actually really good. And now I'm kind of in an iffy situation where I don't know if my all-around gear that I got this time around stands up to the... I got like a really good knife that was doing a lot of work the first time, because it had very fast, a very fast-paced auto attack. And yeah, the enemies around here are definitely above level, so I remember that they are, but I could care less, and I went for the topple, so I didn't see that coming. Anyways, we're headed up to the site where chapter 3 is, and I mentioned it last video, but for those who don't remember, we're about to meet the big baddies of the bunch. And also, the last recording, again, for the first episode, went all the way to the end of the chapter, and it was a really good run. I was just like... I mean, I may have died twice, but there were a couple upsides to it, and just made the video really great. But now we're not going to get something as interesting as the first part, unfortunately. But you know, hopefully. Oh God, am I going to die? Please don't. I'm going to pick up this shiny just because we will need to pick up a lot of shinies. The way items work in this game is also really finicky, and it drags out a lot of missions. You know what? Let's let this play out. It's the first time we see these guys, and there's not a lot of cutscenes after this.
Damn. I knew we would have heard from them by now.
It was definitely fighting something. But this damage, it's not the usual claw or bite marks.
No signs of the team. If they were eaten, we'd know it. So did they walk away, or were they taken?
Okay, so to explain, these choices do not matter. They changed some of the dialogue, but Watch, if I pick retreat,
The job's not finished. We have
yep,
more questions now than when we
Alma's gonna
We
put
only
you
have
back in
upwards
your
of 10
place.
answers. Until then, we keep looking.
Hold up, Elma. Check this out. I'm picking up an Earth-based IFF signal coming from that direction. It's Pathfinder.
That thing over there, maybe?
It doesn't look natural, does it?
No, it doesn't. It looks like trouble.
And look at this. I'm picking up readings for other life forms too. Multiple signals, moving around inside the structure. Elma, you don't think...
I think you're right. Look at their movements. They're controlled, orderly. They're definitely not wild animals. Now the question is, are they native to Mira? Or are they visitors like us? And if so, from where?
You think it's one of the forces that destroyed Earth?
Let's not jump to any conclusions. It's a big universe out there. Of course, we shouldn't rule it out either.
Should we call this into HQ?
Yes, but not from here. If we're picking up their signals, they might be close enough to intercept ours.
You there! Drop your weapons!
Stay calm. We don't want to provoke them.
Earth aliens! Surrender! Now!
They know about Earth? You may have been right after all, Lynn.
What are you doing?
It's okay, Lynn. Just stand down. I'm not sure why, but somehow they're able to communicate with us.
Meaning...
Meaning we need to know if diplomacy is a viable option.
Roger that.
We come in peace, and we're willing to negotiate. If you have any Earth alien prisoners, we'd ask the conditions for their release. If you don't, we'll leave you in peace.
No negotiations. No conditions. We have our orders.
Okay, so
Aliens must
here we're gonna enter a fight, and I'm gonna interrupt the cutscene, because yes. Yeah, so it turns out that these guys... you know what? I'm not gonna tell too much about the story, but yeah, they're aliens on Mira, and you'll figure out a lot more about them as time goes on. I might say a couple things before they actually tell you, but that would be on accident, because I'm probably too excited about actually playing the game and talking about it. So, anyways, we're gonna take some of the action that they're throwing our way, and just hopefully tank a couple shots. It doesn't seem Infuriate did very much. Oh, yeah, he's hitting us alright, but... Okay, so, coming right up after this, we're gonna run into enemy base. We're about to explore it. I skipped the cutscene because they're just talking a lot about it. And here you'll see more of the field action that I talked about last time.
Lynn, can you give us an approximate location for that IFF signal?
Let's see. Seems to be originating from that building over there.
Then we'd better get moving. There's no time to lose.
I'm sorry if the volume kind of wavered there. It's because I was messing around with the volume a bit. The Elgato seems to be acting really weird. You might have seen in the earlier video, it just kind of freaked out. So we got another class upgrade, which means we got this art, which is a TP art, which allows you to heal yourself as long as you have 1000 TP. It could be worth using over saving it. So it just really depends. There's also different arts and stuff that benefit from having an aura, which we'll talk about when that's relevant. Ooh, titanium knife. I wonder if that's any better than what I have right now. Oh, so this is the blade I had last time. So I got this from, apparently it gave me the same drop, except a little worse it seems. I'm not sure, but this titanium knife might just do a lot more damage than I normally do. So we're gonna go ahead and clear out some enemies here, because I want to get to level 8 or so. And see if I can take on this next, there's actually a bad guy I want to take on. Did they all aggro onto me? That might be a problem. Okay, so we managed to take out one, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it past all of these. I actually didn't fight these guys, believe it or not, when I came here the first time, so that might be an issue. Okay, I'm going to actually taunt them, because they are pressuring our friendlies quite a lot. Chrome Armor, Infuriate, just keep throwing those out, because the less damage they do on them, the better. And now I'm gonna go ahead and recuperate again. Oh, wow, I missed that boost. So Lynn is dead because of that, unfortunately. Again? Okay, I suck at this game. Hopefully I can, why is Lynn all the way over there? So, please stop hitting her. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and go over here, heal her. And hopefully, yep, okay, cool. We might get this. Wow, that was interesting. We turned that situation around real quick. I thought I was gonna lose there. Yeah, nothing too good. Okay, so we're gonna install that probe here. Definitely a good idea. Normally I wouldn't have fought these guys earlier because I wanted to show something interesting. So hopefully Lynn doesn't somehow aggro them, because Lynn is another tank character in this game, but she's not very good at it right now. Anyways, she tends to do some very annoying wild down kind of situations. I forget if her move is called wild down, but there's a specific move that really reminds me of something like Ryan would do in Xenoblade, where he aggroes the enemies, but Lynn's is worse for some reason. I think it's just how big her AoE is she drags in a lot of tyrants into random fights just because she felt like aggroing. So I'm gonna walk up to these guys and just install the probe right in front of them. They can't see me, so they can't hear me, and they're gone. Don't mind me, I'm just referencing a song. Also getting rid of enemies by unspawning them. The reason why that happens, I'm assuming, is because when you install a probe, it just to keep things consistent, it spawns you somewhere safe every time, and if there's any enemies around, it despawns them, which is good for us in multiple situations. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and stab this right on the side. Okay, so that one guy right up there, that level 11, I accidentally fought when I was in the other account doing this same video, except it was the first video rather than the second. And here I got an automatic topple because of that soul voice, which is always nice. I'm hoping Lynn doesn't aggro that guy. If I can manage to beat him, we might get a good piece of loot, and I'm hoping for headgear because headgear has a high chance of giving you XP boost. And we're almost class up, and once that happens, I'll show you what happens. Max class level is 10, I think. And here we got spotted by this guy. He does a lot of damage. Oh, we got a stagger. I'm gonna chrome armor and then infuriate. This could get me killed, potentially, but no one cares. Luckily, I saved my TP. By the way, you can save TP even after the battle's finished, and I keep messing up those bees. The action button is sometimes annoying because you're in the middle of a fight and you're expected to press B, but it really does help, and it doesn't really harm the combat system. It's more like a bonus than anything, so if you can get it, yeah, it really helps out. I'm not gonna use, unless he aggro's onto me right now. Oh wait, topple. What? Oh, the topple didn't finish, unfortunately. Chrome armor here. I'm gonna have to aggro him. I don't want him to kill in just yet, and just hopefully I get... Okay, that was dangerous. I'm gonna aggro him here again. Chrome armor. Oh, and it turns out, I forgot, chrome armor you can actually give to other units in your team. Oh, is that? So close. Okay, but that's still pretty good. Treasure tracker I don't really ever need, but that's a level 12. It doesn't really do us very much, but it's kind of neat. I'm gonna take the time to upgrade my stuff. Okay, so here I can finally talk about the plans for this game. So I'm gonna do a specific build I used to go for, which is a mixture of Full Metal Jaguar, which is Elma's class, and Galactic Knight. The idea is to take the dual guns and mix them with the photon saber. So usually I'd go for commando first, but I did mix things up the last time and go for enforcer instead of going for commando outright. And the only reason is because I want to make things more interesting. So we're gonna keep the same idea, but now we have this ray gun rather than the assault rifle. We should be good to go. There's a fight here that if you're not really careful, it could go wrong pretty quickly. But I'm just gonna set up everything the way I did last time. I don't remember, but I think that other move, the aggroing move, Infuriate, actually belongs to the assault rifle. So I can't take advantage of de-aggroing enemies anymore, but I can use a giant laser. So, you know, I never actually used the cannon weapon at all, to be honest. I never had a reason to, because some of the builds you can do in this game are pretty nasty. Like, longsword dual guns was the first one that was found that was pretty crazy. But, I mean, there's other builds that you can do that are just as fun. And, actually, this might be a terrible situation I'm in, but we're gonna try and make it through this one. This cannon weapon actually reminds me of something that would be in Xenoblade 2, so maybe that's where it got its inspiration. I cannot see myself. Oh yeah, and I never took advantage of the green soul voice, but usually that's a big help for healing. And this guy got stuck in the wall, but he's dead now. We don't have our topple anymore, so that might be a problem. But if we can keep constant pressure with damage, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Topple just really helps because Stagger and Topple basically flinch the enemy, so they can't really do very much. Oh, there's also a debuff called Flinch, which I think just is basically a regular Stagger. Elma died. Okay, well. Hopefully we don't die here. Keeping Lyn alive for as long as possible might actually win us this fight. Oh, and she's dead. So, hopefully our chrome armor builds up, and... luckily, we got just enough damage to actually beat him with that one blast. Really nice. Okay, so, this aura actually benefits this move called Beam Barrage. Reason being is because it actually says it right here. So, with an aura, boost damage, and that's really important because that becomes more prevalent. You know, when you really need to make damage. One thing's for sure, I need to do this. I don't think I'll be able to survive otherwise, and I may not even make it through this. You know what? I'm gonna revisit my strategy later. Okay, so I almost died. We got a good ray gun though. Arts recover HP. Okay. That might be really good. By the way, we want to avoid using the shop as much as possible, because fighting enemies a lot will benefit you more than actually going to the shop, because they don't bring you know, legendary pieces of equipment that have like varying different effects and stuff. So generally avoiding the shop is a good idea. Okay, so we got a boost potential, which is great. I'm not sure how much that's going to help us in this fight, but here's the main event of, you know.
They're all dead. You killed them all. In cold blood.
Fortune did not smile upon them today.
Nelson.
You filthy Earth aliens do not belong on this planet.
You seem more fluent than the others. Are you in charge?
I am called Glennar. I command this squad, Earth alien. Now it is time for you to surrender.
Hello, Glennar. I am called Elma, and I command this squad. If this planet is your home, we apologize for intruding. We crash-landed here after our ship was damaged in an attack by unknown adversaries. We were hoping we could negotiate a peaceful settlement in exchange for our friends, but...
Peaceful settlement. Your words are wasted on us. All we can promise Earth aliens is a swift death.
Elma.
Right. We tried. Looks like survival of the fittest it is. Fine then. Seeing as you know we come from Earth, I'm guessing there's a good chance we might have a score to settle with you anyway.
Alright, this fight is, especially if you don't know what you're doing, this fight can be pretty terrible. But generally it goes pretty fine, especially when you got your equipment built up and, you know, you changed your arts and stuff like that. As long as you're properly leveling up and changing your equipment, it's kind of a joke. Seems my aura lasted long enough to get this crit off of Beam Barrage, so that's cool. cool.
Keep the rhythm going.
Getting close.
Now it's my turn. Fire shot.
Okay, so we only have one left, and he's pretty much dead. Yeah,
Move in and do some damage.
not that bad of a fight, honestly.
I don't get it. Why would they be so bent on killing all humans?
Who can say? Whatever the reason, this is dire news. We should let the others know ASAP. Let's call it in and head back to HQ for a full debrief.
Roger that. And here I just started to hope we'd finally escaped all this.
Escape! Yes, escape! Tatsu also want escape! Friends! Friends that leave Tatsu trapped!
More Xenos? What should we do?
So,
What do you think, Rook?
we're just gonna pick a choice here and skip, because Tatsu isn't important enough. Also, this is not Ricky, not Tatsu. Just keep that in mind. Not Ricky here is gonna give us a lot of not important information, so. Ooh, what does this have? Might be a bit better than what I already have, so let's check that out. Shut up, not Tatsu. Wait, not Tatsu. Interesting. I already messed up the name I gave him. Feels bad. Yeah, that seems to be a bit better. So we can just equip that as fashion gear. Or let's see if there's anything else I'd like to put on, rather. Nah, I'll just leave that on. Anyways, we're gonna head back to HQ, and we can easily do that, but first, I wanna get these little shinies. Okay, so here we're just gonna teleport, cause why the hell not? Also, it's just way too long just not doing that. And we're gonna get a lot of talking here. So, I'm just gonna summarize it. Big Baddie's gonna do big bad things. So, there you go. And that's mission completed. And, just for the sake of length, I'm gonna call it here for the second video. Oh, this might be important.
So, Rook, feel like you're starting to get the hang of things?
Of course you are. You've taken to it like a fish to water, just like Elma and the commander said you would.
Just the same, let's review the key points, and I can fill in some extra details. Blade's top priority right now is...
I was gonna skip this, but you know what? Let's let her summarize everything up for us.
secure missing pieces of the life hold. You remember that much. Countless people are frozen in the life hold. It's the key to restoring humanity. Up until we ran into the prone, our biggest concern was that wild indigents would stumble on the life hold and damage it somehow. But now there's a more pressing threat. Intelligent alien races who are intentionally trying to destroy us. So, our search has new urgency. We need to find and retrieve all of the life hold ASAP.
And the best way to do that is by expanding the reach of Frontier Nav. The more probes we can install, the wider we can scan, and the faster we can find bits of the life hold.
So our primary focus going forward should be to travel around Mira installing data probes. As many as we can, as fast as we can. I can't stress enough how important this is. You still with me? Good. Then let's move on to the other pressing threat that Blade has to deal with. Hostile indigents. There's no real delicate way to put this. Any wildlife that poses a clear threat must be eliminated. The Lifehold is our future, but we can't ignore the present. We still have our duty to keep New LA safe. And sometimes that duty requires enacting coordinated strikes to solve problems before they can do real harm.
We're the newcomers here, it's true. And they're usually just out to defend their territory. But sometimes it really is them or us. And we have to make sure it's us. Don't get me wrong. It's not like we run out there and light up anything that moves. Only Blade HQ can choose targets. And they tend to keep them strictly to creatures that pose a significant threat to our survival.
In order to contribute to this cause, operatives are asked to form into squads to take on special missions. These squad missions, as we call them, don't get posted to mission control like your other, more typical assignments. Rather, HQ transmits the details directly to all of us at the same time. Basically, they want as many people to know about them ASAP, so they can be taken care of ASAP.
I'm sure you can imagine that these missions aren't your run-of-the-mill little fetch quests. It's not the kind of stuff just one or two blades could handle on their own. That's why squads can have as many as 32 members.
And it's why we ask members to sign up to a squad beforehand. We can't have blades playing musical chairs whenever this kind of emergency hits us. But just
Taking
remember,
much longer than I thought, but you get the gist of it. Something, people are dying. I don't think she said anything like that, but we're gonna take it that way. If anything, I'll just make sure I say anything that needs to be said as the game goes on. But, ooh, they gave us a lot of information that we should have probably known before that fight. And, yeah, they didn't really explain very much beforehand. But now we're just gonna... We basically start the game from this point on. So, from Chapter 3 onward, this is where the tutorial segment is sort of over, because it's not over. Anyways, we're gonna call it here, and hopefully this video is not as long. It certainly won't be, because last video had more than an hour recorded, and we're barely near an hour here. So, yeah, I plan to continue this series, and I might do some grinding ahead of time. That was the plan before I found out the data was corrupted. So,